What's happening, guys? Just me, because Suruti is not very well. She has COVID, but that doesn't stop it being cupboard day. Today is the famed cupboard day, and I thought I would have a little chat with you about cupboard day. So if you don't know already, here is what cupboard day is. Suru and I, maybe 5 years ago, God knows how long, we got stuck in the cupboard under some stairs. If you go all the way to the bottom of our RSS feed, it's the first thing you can find. And what happened was, when we started, we had no idea what we were doing. We had no sound training at all. We bought one mic for the two of us, thinking that that would be fine. It's not fine. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, one mic is not going to cut it. We only spent a tenner on it because we didn't know if A, we were going to like each other, because, you know, we just met weeks before. We didn't know how long we were going to keep going with the show, so we didn't want to like sink money into something that wasn't going to work, because essentially it was a hobby, right? Like, and I remember having this conversation with Suru, being like, well, you know, like people spend money on hobbies, and so it's okay for us to like buy this £10 mic. Anyway, so the sound was terrible. Also, the problem we had is that I didn't even have a proper computer back then. I had a Chromebook because that's all I could afford. And they were like £100 or something. That's literally all I had. So edit software, for the most part, doesn't work on Chromebooks. You have to have like Chromebook specific apps, right? So we used this thing called Soundtrap, which is absolutely appalling. And because it's a Chromebook, it doesn't really have any like inbuilt memory or whatever. I don't know if that's the right like term, but we would try and record through a USB into Soundtrap, and then Soundtrap would stop working because it was too long, like there was too much space being used up. Total nightmare. So I was on every Facebook forum, looking up all sorts of places, trying to figure out why our sound was so terrible. It was like this background noise that I just couldn't get rid of, and Soundtrap didn't really have like a noise reduction feature, and I didn't really understand how any of that worked. Anyway, so I found out that if you are in a small space, the sound is better. So we were at my old flat in Poplar, my old flat, which is like deepest, darkest East London. And it was like a council house, right? So all of the flats are exactly the same. And you walked in, kitchen and stairs. And there was a cupboard underneath the stairs in which there were two violins, because Dammy, who is the reason Suru and I know each other, he was sleeping on our sofa for about 6 months. And for some reason, he had two violins, and they were in the cupboard. So we used to call it the violin cupboard. So we decided to record in the violin cupboard because we thought it might make the sound a bit better. And we go into the cupboard and pull the door to behind us, and Suruti said, wouldn't it be funny if this cupboard doesn't lock from the inside, doesn't open from the inside? Click. The door is shut. And then we realize that there is no handle on the inside. It is impossible for us to get out. I tried kicking the door. I tried to I had my back against the wall and pushing with my legs, nothing. It was also the hottest day of the year. And we were basically just in our pants because it was boiling hot. To make matters worse, I had two flatmates. Neither of them were in. One of them was on a megabus on the way back down from Glasgow, so he was useless. And the other one was halfway across London at his girlfriend's house. And we had no phones. We'd left our phones in my kitchen, not in the cupboard, so we couldn't even ring for help. All we had was my bullshit Chromebook and this ridiculous mic. So we recorded the first ever minisode of Red Handed, which is you can find on the feed. And we Facebook messengered Danny saying, can you please get hold of someone to let us out of this cupboard? In total, we were in the cupboard for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. And eventually my flatmate came back from his girlfriend's house. I think he got a flat tire on the way over, blah, blah, blah. Really stressful. And eventually we did get let out of the cupboard. So we like to celebrate Cupboard Day as like a moment of like how far we've come and from where we started. And to celebrate Cupboard Day this year, usually we forget, but this year we're ready. What we're gonna do is a competition. So as you can see, I've given the game away with our brand new merch. This is my Career Disco Man jumper. I'm wearing an extra large, so you can see it's quite like big and slouchy and nice, and super comfortable. So I realized that like if people see me wearing this and they don't know it's a quote, which like obviously most people wouldn't know, it looks like, have you seen those Instagrams that are like good Vietnam t-shirts, and it's just like ridiculous t-shirts that from Southeast Asia that make no sense. It feels like one of those, which I think is hilarious. So you can get your hands on some merch by visiting our website, but if you don't want to pay for it, if you would like some free merch, here's what you need to do. Comment on this video underneath here with your favorite episode of Red Handed, and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then we'll enter all of the people who do that into a raffle. And then on the 19th of July, which is in 2 weeks time, we will announce 2 winners, and you will get a free piece of merch. Maybe 2 pieces, yeah, who knows, we'll figure it out. So please, if you would like to be entered into the raffle, make sure you comment on this video. You're gonna have a week to do so, and then subscribe as well. And how exciting, get some new merch, have a nice time and a nice life. I hope you exist wonderfully, and we'll see you really soon, and hopefully Sruti will be back because I am lonely.